The following program is underwritten by the generous support of Associates of Glens Falls and Loomis & Lipan Insurance. Since 1852, they have been assisting both businesses and individuals across the country secure the most comprehensive insurance products available. Associates of Glens Falls is proud to partner with Central Insurance Companies. Public affairs programming on Look TV is underwritten by the generous support of Pinnell's Restaurant, classic Italian-American food since 1922, and Stored Tech, technology solutions for computers, networks, and phone. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
1922, Babe Ruth debuts with the Yankees. WGY signs on air. Exterminator wins the Saratoga Cup, and Pinnell's Restaurant opens its doors for the very first time. For 5 generations, Pinnell's has been preparing delicious Italian food, served in a comfortable, home-like setting where everyone is welcomed. 90 years of authentic Italian recipes, 90 years of the freshest ingredients, and 90 years of the finest classic Italian dishes, all made daily by hand. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga dining tradition since 1922.
Most cybersecurity firms deal only with prevention, the systems that block hackers and viruses. Stored Tech knows the root cause is actually good people doing bad things. So we offer a security training program which includes certifying all participants to show they understand the basics.
Technology solutions for computers, networks, and phones. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Town of Queensberry regular town board meeting. It's June 21st. Somebody got their sound on? It's June 21st, 2021, and the time is 7:23 p.m. So, first things first in the agenda, would you all please rise and join Councilperson Tim McNulty in saying the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. We're a little late because of technical issues, but we've got everything going. We have 2 items for the Queensberry Board of Health tonight, so I'll entertain a motion to go into the Queensberry Board of Health, please. Moved by, who was first? Councilperson Crone, and seconded by Councilperson Freer. Medevere. Okay, all those in favor of entering the Queensberry Board of Health, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Aye, appears to be unanimous. We're now in the Board of Health. All right, Caroline, would you read to the public our first item on the agenda as a Board of Health, please?
This is a resolution or a public hearing to consider Joshua Rocks Corporation's application for sanitary sewage disposal variances.
All right, we have a public hearing on this evening. And Joshua Rock Corporation is the applicant and has filed an application for variances from provisions of the Town of Queensberry on-site sewage disposal ordinance, Chapter 136, to install a replacement wastewater treatment system with its components to be located as follows. The absorption bed to be 75 foot from the well instead of the required 100-foot setback, and the septic tank to be 45 foot from the well instead of the 50-foot setback. And we did a site visit on this, and so the applicant's agent, if you'll please introduce yourself and feel free to expand further on what I just said about this application.
Thank you, John. I'm Dennis McElroy with Environmental Design, representing Joshua's Rock Corporation for this wastewater variance application. Joshua's Rock Corporation is a family holding probably over 100 acres in total. This particular system is located on a 1-acre lot at 3090 State Route 9L, right across from the Mountainside Library. It is referred to as the caretaker's house. That system that serves that house is antiquated. it appears to be just simply a cesspool type situation. So they've requested, and in the representative of the corporation is Catherine Seeley, who's been my contact. They've requested the upgrade of the system, and as a result of what we feel is the best location for the system, we come up short in terms of 2 setback requirements. The field itself, the leach field itself, will be 75 feet to a well that's actually upgrading it and on the other side of the foundation from this proposed field. And also the septic tank, which typically is required to be 50 feet, will only be 45 feet. So it's those 2 variances that we're seeking. The system will be a gravity feed septic tank to an Elgin bed system, or Elgin trench system in this case. And I think that, this will provide a good solution to replace what is not a good system. And it's certainly time that needs replacement.
All right. Thank you, Dennis. Any questions for Dennis before I open the public hearing?
No.
All right. Anybody present wish to speak to this? The application for septic variance? No attendees. All right. So entertain a motion to approve.
Did you close the public hearing?
Close the
I'm sorry.
public hearing. Just trying to keep you guys paying attention, you see. All right. Motion made by Councilperson Medevere, seconded by Councilperson Freer. Roll call vote on this, please.
Councilpersons Medevere?
Yes.
Freer?
Yes.
Perone?
Yes.
McNulty?
Yes.
Stroud?
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next application, please, Caroline.
Public hearing to consider sanitary sewage disposal variances for Robert Stevens, an extension of time to complete wastewater system improvements.
Okay, and so Robert Stevens of 128 North Sunnyside North wishes to put in a 4,000 gallon septic holding tank because to do otherwise would be very difficult. And that will be his on-site sewage disposal system if it gets approved tonight. He still needs 2 variances. This holding tank would be 25 foot from the well in lieu of the 50-foot setback, and 46 from his neighbor's well in lieu of the required 50-foot setback. So would you please identify yourself for the record?
Homeowner, Robert Stevens.
Okay. And is there anything, Robert, that you would like to elaborate on?
We just moved it because it's too hard to have it pumped out from the original plan. I had them come and check again and installing it because it weighs so much, because I got a solid concrete tank.
Yeah.
Like almost impossible to get it down where we originally had it. So.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Robert before I open the public hearing?
Yep.
No. All right, I'll open the public hearing. Anybody wish to speak to this septic variance for holding tanks and distance from the wells? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Did you?
I'll close the public hearing. Well, see, Caroline wasn't on.
Tony beat me to it.
All right, so a motion made by Councilperson Freer, seconded by Councilperson McNulty. Roll call vote on this, please.
Councilpersons Freer?
Yes.
Perone?
Yes.
McNulty?
Yes.
Stroud?
Yes.
Medevere?
Yes.
All right, Robert. Good luck.
Good luck.
All right, that's it for the Queensberry Board of Health. A motion to go out of the Queensberry Board of Health, please. Moved by Councilperson Perone. Seconded by Councilperson McNulty. All those in favor of exiting the Queensbury Board of Health, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, unanimous. We're out of the Board of Health. Next, we have a public hearing. Would you introduce that for the public, please, Caroline?
This is a public hearing to consider the consolidation agreement for proposed consolidation of 5 town sanitary sewer districts.
Okay, so we have a public hearing on this tonight. I'll give you an overview. Wastewater Director Chris Harrington is present. Currently, we have the Queensbury Consolidated Sanitary Sewer District. We have the Route 9 Sewer District. We have the West Queensbury Consolidated Sanitary Sewer District. And we have the Technical Park Sewer District. So 5 sanitary sewer districts. The town wastewater director has studied whether it would be to the mutual benefit and in the best interest of the customers each serves to combine these 5 sanitary sewer districts into one district, proposed to be named the Greater Queensbury Consolidated Sanitary Sewer District. And the wastewater director has determined that such combinations would, 1, create operating efficiencies, 2, more equitable distribution of financial responsibilities, 3, provide better service to the public served by each district, 4, generate cost savings by avoiding duplication in administrative services, and 5, the risk of isolated, unpredictable failures and costs will be spread over the entire consolidated district, expecting to result in a more financially stable district, and will also better allow the consolidated district to reliably finance its operating and capital costs. So, would the wastewater director wish to come up and expand on that? Chris Harrington?
Thank you, John. I think that pretty much sums up what we're trying to do here. We had a workshop on this, it seems like forever ago. And what I tried to, we have a lot of, like the city of Glens Falls, we have an agreement with, and these charges about $220,000 a year for the reconstruction of the plant. So it becomes a little dicey about how do you pay that bill? Do we pay through flows? Do we pay through assessed value? Do we pay through the benefit tax? Do we pay through the capacity value? There's never been a real good argument for which way. So I feel that the best way to do that is have consolidated so everybody pays the fair value. We also talked about, the only, I think, board member here who's in a sewer district is Harrison. So I used Harrison to say, my guys go buy a hammer. It's a $12 hammer. And how is that allocated to the other districts? How is that allocated to West Queensberry, Pershing, Ashley, Coolidge? I mean, how do you do that fairly? There really is no fair way. So what Harrison actually does, it probably pays for the whole thing. So there's an inequity there for Queensberry Consolidated for the other districts to pay Harrison. We try our best to come up with a good solution, but things get lost. Another thing we spoke to is about there's repairs. The repair of sewer is very expensive. It's deeper, it's using groundwater, it becomes a very messy proposition. Pershing Ashley Coolidge is about 3,000 linear feet of sanitary sewer in the Broad Acres area. It was put in the 50s, it's getting old. When that system starts to go, this becomes very expensive with 30 households to fix that. Okay, so right now they're doing well, they don't have any debt service. But they need to take out an insurance policy, and the insurance policy is hooking up with Harrison Sewer District to fix those pipes that one day will come. Another big repair will be, not repair, but we have an agreement with the city for the West Queensbury Sewer District. That took us many, many years to get done, and one of the principal parts of that agreement was to upsize the sewer on Broad Street. That's going to be a $300,000 job. So I think the people in West Queensberry are going to want Harrison's district to help them pay for that project. So what does Harrison get out of it? Harrison gets a more equitable way in the O&M. So Queensberry, this might have worked several years ago for the smaller districts, but now Queensberry, we're fairly large, that we have to act like we did with the water districts back in the 90s to put everything together to make it more feasible. So my people aren't getting bogged down in paperwork about which goes where. Bob's time. Sometimes I'll ask Bob a sewer question. So Bob sends me the bill. And I'm like, okay, how do I allocate all this? Pershing after Coolidge, South Queensberry. So I'll be spending, time with what's the fairest way of doing it? There really is no fair way. So the state has given us a law to consolidate and agree a little bit different than they did in the mid-90s, but still allows the town board to go through a pretty hefty way to try to consolidate these districts in a fair manner. So I do think nowadays, again, we used to have a wastewater director. We don't have a wastewater director anymore. So that guy could have got bogged down with the paperwork and spent all, we don't have, so for the efficiency, for the convenience, which the law says it can be, I really do think the best way for everybody to go forward is to consolidate these districts. When we have the benefit period, we're not going to have 7 hearings. We'll have 3 hearings. So yes, this makes things seem easier for people to understand, because I think when we explain all these different accounts going back and forth, shuffling money here, shuffling money there, there's a really inefficiency there. And somebody is not always made whole, no matter how well you do that. So I think this is a proper step to take now, because I don't think anybody really realizes how big the sewer district is, but it's a fairly large sewer district, and it's got some big boy stuff. I mean, we got pump stations down 35 feet, we got force mains, we got some heavy duty stuff. So now's the time to let's get together and do a better job and not being worried about, I don't have money in that district. I got to spend time trying to, pulling up John. We got to transfer this, that, and the other thing. So this is the way to go.
So I'm sorry. Go.
So we have 7. We're combining these 5. Can you just let everyone know why those other 2 weren't really good candidates for a total consolidation?
Sure. We have an on-site system by Aquatic Brook. The Reservoir Park Sewer District does not discharge to the city of Glens Falls, so they're kind of their own different animal. All right, so I didn't feel it was fair to put that with the sewer system that discharges to Glens Falls. And then we also have the South Queensberry Sewer District, which is not only Queensberry, it's the town of Kingsbury, it's the Washington County Sewer District, and it's the Warren County Sewer District. So that they have a separate IMA. So try to unravel that and make all that fair would be, you'd need a Nobel Prize to try to figure all that out. So I just said, I can live with 3 sewer systems. That can be manageable, not a big deal.
Okay, thank you.
That was the same question I was going to ask. All right. So the other thing, too, I think it's important for the sake of public disclosure is that in the long run, this will be better. But in the short run, some people are going to experience some increases and some are going to experience some decreases.
Yeah, that's correct.
In the long run, it would be better for everybody. But I just want to say that in the short run, some people are going to get a price increase.
Yeah, it's like a revaluation.
Yeah.
You got winners and losers. And you're going to have some winners here, and you're going to have some people who are not going to make out that great either.
But it's insurance, like you said, it's kind of an insurance policy.
It's kind of for the people in Broad Acres, I would look at it as an insurance policy. For West Queensberry, an insurance policy. Tech Park is older, an insurance policy.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a public hearing on this tonight. And I'll open that public hearing. Is there anybody present that would like to speak to the proposed consolidation agreement or the proposed consolidation of 5 town sanitary sewer districts? And I don't see any attendees on Zoom. Any additional thoughts on behalf of the town board? Is this something you wish to approve tonight or wait?
We've had the workshop. I think we can make it.
Yeah. All right, then I'll entertain a motion.
Close the public hearing.
I'll close the public hearing. I'll entertain a motion to approve the final consolidation agreement for the consolidation of 5 town sanitary sewer districts as described at this meeting.
Since you're all on Septic, I'll make that motion.
All right. Motion made by Councilperson Freer.
Second.
Seconded by Councilperson McNulty. A roll call vote on this, please, Caroline.
Councilpersons Ferone,
Yes.
McNulty,
Yes.
Stroud,
Yes.
Medevere, Frere.
Yes.
All right, passes unanimously.
Thanks, Chris. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Next, we go to resolutions. And there's 2 parts to the meeting for public input. The first part is for the resolutions before us tonight. So there's 20 of them. I will go through as quickly as I can and describe each resolution. And if anybody from the public wishes to speak to any of the resolutions, I will give them the opportunity to do that. But this segment of the meeting is for those 20 resolutions that are before us tonight. However, if there is a portion of the meeting, towards the end where I will give you an opportunity, the public, to speak to any town issue that you wish to speak to at that part of the meeting. But this part is just for the 20 resolutions before us. So will you help me introducing them, Caroline, in 4.1?
Resolution approving repurchase of cemetery lots in Pineview Cemetery from Stanley and Janet Wood.
All right. Stan and Janet Wood, Mohegan plot, lot number 14-B, and they wish to have us to repurchase for what they paid for them for $800. And Superintendent of Cemetery is here. If you have any questions on that, Connie got it. 4.2.
Resolution authorizing engagement of Sultitude Lake Management for 2021 lake management contract in connection with Glen Lake Aquatic Plant Growth Control District.
All right, this is to do tasks 3 through 6, if we can. The treatment, 18 acres at $2,233 an acre would be $40,194. And this is for Sultitude to do the treatment. It is part of Glen Lake's invasive species management program, and they do have a district, and the district is taxed. And so they've already done tasks 1 and 2, and they've done some of 3. The post-treatment monitoring would be $1,460. The additional samples, if required, would be $1,300. So aquatic mapping survey, post-treatment would be $3,300. Prepare and file New York State DEC annual report, $650, for a total of up to $46,904. Paul, is there anything you wish to say about this application at this time?
No, I'll certainly answer the question.
Okay. 4.3, please.
Resolution authorizing closure of Cary Road Sanitary Sewer District Capital Project Fund number 221.
All right, we're done with the Cary Road Sanitary Sewer District, and we have 2,604 remaining, and we'll transfer the remaining balance of 2,604 from the band principal account to a bond principal account, and then authorize the closure of Fund 221. 4.4.
Resolution authorizing engagement of Stored Technology Solutions, Inc. related to purchase and installation of new computer server related equipment at Town Water Department.
All right, we've been talking about better security. This is one step forward for the Town Water Department. For amount of $9,735.98, which is less than New York State contract pricing, and the second quote obtained. And quote number STSQ14269 for Stored Tech's professional services related to the installation of this new computer server equipment for the amount of $3,610. For a total project cost of $13,345.98. And this is to install cameras around the water department. 4.5,
Resolution setting public hearing on proposed rate increase for South Queensberry, Queensberry Avenue Sanitary Sewer District.
all right, now, as the wastewater director explained, that South Queensbury is not one of those districts that we proposed consolidating because it's complicated. It has several entities, including Warren and Washington counties. And in any event, after monitoring the financial trends for that district, the wastewater director is recommending that the town board amend the South Queensbury Avenue Sanitary Sewer District and increase the rates from $5.50 per thousand gallons per quarter to $7 per thousand gallons per quarter, commencing with usage as of January 2022 and appearing accordingly on the May 2022 billing. So the town board wishes to have a public hearing on this, and we're going to set the public hearing if this resolution is approved tonight for July 12th at 7 p.m. right here at the town board. 4.6.
Resolution authorizing closure of Freedom Park Recreation Area Capital Project Fund number 190.
All right, the Park and Rec Department did a fantastic job with the Freedom Park Recreation facility at Hubby Pond. The families in our community love it. We have $45.46 remaining in that capital project fund. So this will transfer the fund's balance back to the Hubby Pond Capital Project Fund number 146. 4.7.
Resolution authorizing capital park improvement projects, increases in park improvement projects, and withdrawals from capital reserves number 61 and 64.
Okay, this resolution is to improve the following. For the Gurney Lane Recreation Area, the very popular Gurney Lane Recreation Area, we're going to fix some erosion problems with some of the trails and do some other maintenance work, a lot of drainage repair work for those trails, do some playground improvements. The current swing set dates back to the 70s. We're going to upgrade that. Do phase 2 of the nature trail. We have 2 nature trails that currently exist. You are the nature trail and the nature history trail. They're both for younger people. Well, we would like to combine that effort and offer that as an outdoor school program to our local schools. We need to replace the 16-year-old pool slide and redo the front entrance. It's confusing right now, and we want to clarify that confusion. The Jeckinsville Park, do some sealing and restriping of the parking areas and painting of outside repairs to the soccer field house building. To the Rush Pond Park, want to begin phase 2 of design and layout and installation of bike trails in the Rush Pond corridor and develop a new neighborhood trailhead and connection trail in the Indian Ridge area. The Hudson Point Preserve, want to complete a 0.4 of a mile trail loop that'll better tie in and make a more comprehensive trail system over there. In the Hudson River Park, we wish to put a paddle park and offer some kayak docks, docking for kayakers and making it easier to enter and getting out of your kayaks. That'll be a wonderful addition to the Hudson River Park. And we also want to secure storage and do an improved shoreline, do some walkway and benches along the shoreline for the enjoyment of the attendees for that park. So those are some of the things the Park and Rec Department are working on, and they're doing a fantastic job. So if that resolution gets approved, we'll go ahead with those things I just described. 4.8.
Resolution authorizing closure of EMS study capital project fund number 230.
Okay, so we did our EMS study, and there are no monies left in the capital project fund 230, so we'll close that. However, that study has led to some advances that we plan on making with the EMS world here in the town of Queensberry. And George, I think we have a meeting on that
Next Friday, July 2nd.
Okay, thanks. 4.9.
Resolution appointing Brian Nelson, MD, as Town Health Officer for 2021.
Well, I want to thank Dr. Nelson. He is present tonight, and he's been very patient tonight. Usually we're farther along than we are now, but thanks to technical problems. But if you take a look at Dr. Nelson's resume, this is fantastic that he is offering to be the health officer for the town of Queensberry. And it will be for $1,000 for the balance of 2021 and $100 per hour for any cases. And there hasn't been too much, fortunately, but we do need a health officer, so we very much appreciate Dr. Brian Nelson, MD, as willing to be our town health officer. Deeply appreciate it. 4.10.
Resolution authorizing Westfence Falls Emergency Squad, Inc. to refinance squad building.
All right, the Westfence Falls EMS group would like to refinance their current building and with the savings be able to offer the paid staff some benefits, health insurance, and paid time off. Their current mortgage has a balance of approximately $680,520 at 3.5%, with a term of 76 months remaining, an approximate monthly amount of $9,866.76. So the proposed new mortgage, commercial loan financing of $700,000 at an interest rate of 3.5% and fixed for 5 years. The rate will be reset by the Aquatic Trust Company based lending rate, thereby reducing the monthly payment to $5,004.18, assuming a 180-month amortization remaining, unchanged. So with that savings, they would like to be able to free up some money, like I said, to provide benefits for their paid workers. So in accordance with 8A of the town's Queensberry agreement with the Westfence Falls Emergency Squad for emergency services, the Queensberry Town Board would hereby authorize the squad mortgage and commercial loan refinancing as set forth in the preambles of this resolution. We also should mention that the town of Queensberry does not guarantee such debt with the financial institution on behalf of the squad, nor does the town board create or intend to create any assumption on part of the town of Queensberry of any obligation or liability for the financing. 4.11.
Resolution authorizing acceptance of donation of land from the estate of Virginia Slate.
This is a piece of land located between Heinrich Circle and Helen Drive. It is labeled as 24 Helen Drive, tax map number 301.12-1-3. The Slate family has long known this, and they have a long history of providing public service to the town of Queensberry. Many of us can remember, myself included, Henry Slate rocking in his rocker in front of Slate's Market, which turned into Sokol's Market on Aviation Road. And he was the first town justice for the town of Queensberry. Helen Drive was named after his wife, Helen Slate. Leon Slate was a member of the first graduating class of Queensbury High School, 1953, and had a stellar career as a military officer. Virginia Slate was the second woman member of the Warren County Bar Association and chief assistant district attorney for Warren County for many years. So Helen Drive drains into a ravine that's on the property. So the property already acts as a stormwater storage place. So it has a public interest there. But it is also green space for the residents of Evergreen Estates, which was developed by Henry Slate. And Henry Slate, in the original agreement, is for this to act as a public parcel, not only for stormwater, but for other public uses. So the Queensbury Town Board wishes to accept this property as a gift to the town to continue to be held for highway drainage and stormwater and recreational purposes. And this is, Carl Slate is the executor of the estate of Virginia Slate, and we want to thank them very much for this gift and this dedication of property in memory of Virginia Slate. And be it resolved that this property, identified as 24 Helen Drive, will be named the Slate Family Memorial Park, if approved by this town board tonight. 4.12.
Resolution authorizing purchase of security camera system, CCTV equipment for town water department.
All right, this is the CCTV camera equipment, Mahoney Notifier, in accordance with Mahoney Notifier, for an amount of $16,591 for equipment, $11,600 for labor, for a total of $28,191. And a 5% contingency. So total project cost, $28,191. 413.
Resolution authorizing and ratifying engagement of Double LL Electrical, Inc. and purchase of generator for crematorium located at Pineview Cemetery.
Yeah, well, again, cemetery superintendent kind of get it here. And that was a busy Saturday for me. I went to the recycling. Harrison was there too. And worked the morning. And I had to do an Eagle Scout presentation that afternoon, which I'll explain when it's my turn to speak later tonight. And I got a call from Superintendent Getter saying that the power, something's wrong, something's amiss with the power going to the crematorium building. That's important because it's a crematorium building. It turns out we had National Grid come and they determined that it was our problem, so now we have to solve that. And then my wife calls me. She fell down and broke her arm in 3 places. So that Saturday was a busy Saturday. In any event, since that time, we've got the main line replaced, and it really is imperative because of what we do there. Not pleasant to speak about, but it's a fact of life. That building has capability of having power all the time. If we get a storm and the power outage, we can't afford not to have power. We have 2 crematoria. Each crematorium requires 50 amps of service. Most of your homes are 200 amp homes, and you usually don't use anything near that, especially with the cost-saving technology and devices that we have today. But the crematoriums require 100 amps. So you can't put a generator that you can buy at Walmart or Lowe's or Home Depot or the hardware store, Ace. I don't want to forget anybody. And you can't do that. This is a 3-phase system. It needs a 3-phase generator. We have the opportunity to get this in as soon as we can, and I suggest that we do. So we had outdated wire. We've installed that. And so it was an emergency. We had to install it. National Grid said right away. So the amount of $24,276.35, and we installed it correctly in conduit, copper wire. This will last for decades. It should have been done this way to begin with, but it wasn't. And then we would like to secure Double LL Electrical for the electrical cost $37,898.31. The generator and installation of the generator is $24,276.35. Now, just in the week that we're putting this resolution together, that generator rose $2,000 in price because the Midwest was having a heat wave and the call for generators there made the prices increase. we got to get this generator in, so I urge the town board to support the total expenses of $62,174.66. 4.14.
Resolution authorizing hiring of temporary seasonal laborers to work at town cemeteries.
All right, Blair Storms and Bailey Russell as temporary seasonal laborers to work for the cemetery department up to 11 weeks. They get paid $12.75 an hour. 415.
Resolution to amend 2021 town budget.
All right, this is moving $75,000 into that program that we have. Chris is gone, but it's our tank maintenance program that we do every year. We need to put more money in this year. It's not an increase. It's just part of the putting money in where it's needed. So next year, I just added, why don't we just put that money in knowing we're going to be using. 416.
Resolution authorizing application for American Rescue Plan Act Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Funds.
All right, so the town of Queensberry is earmarked. If we approve it, we can use up to $3 million. So it's spending focus. You can't just spend this $3 million on anything. One, it has to support public health response, fund COVID-19 mitigation efforts, medical expenses, behavioral health care, and certain public health and safety, staff safety. Two, you can use it to address negative economic impacts, respond to economic harms to workers, families, small businesses, and nonprofits or impacted industries, and rehiring of public sector employees. Three, you can use it to replace public sector revenue loss, use funds to provide government services to the extent of the reduction in revenue experienced due to the pandemic. Four, premium pay for essential workers, offer additional support to those who have and will bear the greatest health risk because of their service and critical infrastructure. Funds can be used retroactively back to January 27, 2020. And the fifth and the last one is you can use it for water, sewer, or broadband infrastructure. Make necessary investments to improve access to clean drinking water, invest in wastewater and stormwater infrastructure, and provide unserved or underserved locations with new or expanded broadband access. So there'll be forthcoming clarifications on those, but in the big picture, that's what you can use the $3 million if the town board approves accepting anything up to $3 million. 417, please.
Resolution approving audited bills warrant June 22nd, 2021.
All right. Run date of June 17th and a payment date of June 22nd, 2021, totaling $462,054.79. 418.
Resolution authorizing Marshall and Sterling Upstate, Inc. to renew Town of Queensberry insurance coverages effective July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022.
All right, so this is an increase to an annual figure of $208,453.21. Last year was $184,930.41. So this year is a $23,525.80 increase. Why? Well, first of all, we've got very good insurance rates that were lower than they were several years back. But I do have a memo here. Where did I put that memo? A lot of paperwork. So, Marshall and Sterling is who brokers our insurance. And they said that I highlighted it someplace. There it is. Okay. So the insurance marketplace, as Tony can probably elaborate, has seen dramatic changes due to a number of factors which have impacted rates. Property, due to environmental factors and natural disasters. Automobile, due to increases in medical costs, safety features, and technology changes. Cyber liability, due to an increase in phishing scanners, identity theft, and carriers exiting the marketplace. Employee practices liability, due to Me Too movement and social unrest, not to mention how COVID has impacted our lives. It's been a tumultuous year, to say the least, but we are committed to advocate for our insureds in negotiating with our carriers to provide rate stability. The toughest challenge for 2021 has been cyber liability. The commitment from the town to engage in controls that allow our insurance companies to have a higher level of comfort. There will be a resolution for me speaking. Tony, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I addressed it before, but I've never seen anything quite like it. I'm not kidding when I say even today, things have changed in the last week, especially with cyber. And another thing that we really don't have to worry about here, but is a big issue with sexual abuse and molestation. And, anybody that relies on that coverage can't get it. So, so few marks out there for cyber and for sexual abuse. And just really, we used to worry about the weather. Weather's the least of our worries right now when it comes to insurance. So we had it pretty good for a while, but that's already over. And, we're lucky we have what we have.
All right. So it's still a pretty good reasonable rate considering the town and the size and the complexity.
Yes.
But that cyber liability, we are staying on the leading edge of that. I don't know of any other municipality working with StoreTech that is better protected than we are.
No, and we talked about that a little bit. You cannot secure cyber right now, cyber liability insurance.
Well, that's part of why we're creating the water today, right? I mean, that's part of prevention, what we have to be doing.
Yeah. So no, we're in great shape when compared to most. So.
Okay. 419, please. We're almost done.
Resolution authorizing acceptance of revised proposal and cost decrease for purchase and construction of highway storage building on Big Bay Road by Blue Scope Construction, Inc.
Wick's Law. You gotta love it. Well, Wick's Law says some counties in New York, if you have a building project that exceeds $500,000, Wick's Law kicks in. Wick's Law says that the general contractor can't go in and find their own subcontractors. They have the subcontracting, electrical, plumbing, HVAC has to be bid out separately. Now, these days, with the price increases and everything else, it's $500,000 doesn't build you much, especially you got to pay prevailing rates and everything else. Here's the part that really bothers me. If you're in Bronx County, Kings County, New York, Queens, Richmond, the cutoff is $3 million. Yeah, Wick's Law, bidding out subcontracting work down to $3 million. And even in Nassau, Suffolk, and Westchester, It's $1.5 million. But the rest of you northern counties, it's $500,000. That's unfair. And I talked to Dan Steck's office today, Senator Steck's office today about this, and they assured me they're going to try and do something about it. But in the meantime, with the price of materials and everything, we have a highway maintenance storage facility that will replace the 40-year-old trailer that we have there that, I took a tour of the trailer, it probably should be condemned. And it'll be up for sale if you want to buy it, tow it away. Just burn it. Whatever we have to do by law. All right. So through piggybacking, we have a company we've worked out at Blue Scopes Construction. They can build the building. They will do what's necessary, the basic plumbing and the basic electrical, to get it in the building for $460,702. So for the rest of the electrical, the finishing up and the lights and the switches and the walls and things like that, we're going to have to bid out. And for the rest of the plumbing, we need a bathroom in there. So the toilet and the sink installation and the plumbing involved with that and the plumbing for a hose to clean out the equipment, we're going to have to bid that out. And the heat system, we're going to have to bid out the heat system. So the building that's gone through the highway department is designed the way they want it. It will fit the large equipment there and everything else. But this is the go-ahead. To go ahead with the building, we've already been here. We approved this once for $534,060. The company is, wasn't familiar with Wick's law. We understood that there are some situations where Wick's law, you can get variances, but we weren't able to latch on to anything, so it is what it is. So Blue Scope will put in the foundation, put this in, put the building in, put the basic electrical, get it in there, put the plumbing in there, do the basic information for $460,702. I'll work on the bidding on the other things. At least this will get the building up if the town board approves this. And the last resolution?
Resolution authorizing upgrade of town computer software security licenses.
All right. So authorize an upgrade in the town's computer software security licenses and correspondingly monthly subscription increase from $236 per license to $1,188. I can't tell you, Tony already told us. We can't tell you what the upgrades are because we don't want the outsiders, Tony, am I saying this right, to know what these upgraders are. But the insurance company loves what we're going to do to upgrade our security system, and I guess that's what counts.
They don't pay any longer.
Yeah. It's not like you have a lot of choices. It's something really we should do. All right, those are the 20 resolutions before the town board tonight. Is there any member of the public who is present that wishes to speak to any of the 20 resolutions that we have before the town board tonight? Anybody on Zoom? No. Town board, any thoughts, questions, or items you would like to have pulled out for an individual roll call vote?
John, just a question on 4.7. For Hudson Point, you didn't read it. I think you just skipped over. It's some money for the bridge repair. That's still included, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you just said you skipped
Yeah,
over.
you're right.
Okay. That bridge needs some work, so.
Yeah, they didn't read everything, but you're right. Bridge repair too.
And then for the EMS meeting next week, is that a closed meeting or is that open to, is it more than does the open meeting will apply? Or is that, how does it work?
Well,
So every person shows up, you have to give them notice.
Okay, so, okay.
And have to-
oh yeah. George and I have been handling that.
Okay, so you just.
This is kind of like the first meeting and informational. kind of throwing around ideas and where we want to head and see if we have any agreement. And I know that they're working on some things, so they'll share that with us as well.
Exactly. Well, the whole idea was just a month or so ago, we just approved 2021 contracts. So when we were talking to them about that, they said it would be great if we could get this started earlier. We had said the same thing. So this is starting to get these discussions early so we can have a contract in place by January 2022. But hopefully based on how the discussions go, not just an annual, but hopefully a multi-year contract.
But this will bring probably to some workshops and so we can all participate.
Yes, certainly will.
Okay, thank you.
Good point. Anything, Harrison?
I was just going to point out on the resolution with relation to the construction of the highway building, and people probably who pay attention to what we do here heard about the main highway building that was built. And I know you went over some of the things here, but having that building on the southwest side of town increases the ability for the highway department, I think, to provide service, particularly in the winter times when roads need to be cleared. There's equipment kept on that end of the road. There's salt that's kept on that end of the road, so trucks don't have to come all the way back to this side of town. So I think it's important. That's why it's important to have that building.
Well, thank you for bringing that up. Yes. And the front end loader, which sits out in the dead of winter.
Right, exactly.
Now would be, you're talking about a $250,000 piece of equipment.
And our investment
will be stored here along with other equipment. And if something breaks down, this is the building where you could actually work on it in the building, say they can't get it back over here or something.
Right.
So we already have, we have a salt barn over there. We keep salt and sand storage over on Big Day Road. And we have a little trailer there that's insufficient. We really need to replace that and put it with a decent building that'll do like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Good point. Thanks. Anything else on the 20 resolutions? No roll call? All right. How about a resolution to approve, or a motion to approve resolutions 4.1 through 4.20?
So,
okay. Councilperson McNulty, seconded by Councilperson Ferone. Roll call vote, please, on the 20 resolutions before us tonight.
Councilpersons McNulty,
Yes.
Stroud,
Yes.
Medevere, Freer, Brown.
yeah.
Okay. Any correspondence?
I do not have any, but maybe we can get Dr. Nelson to sign his oath really quick.
All right.
And then
Yes.
we can go, maybe. I think that's okay.
You want Dr. Nelson to come up when you read
Yeah,
it?
is that okay if he signs his oath really quick and then he can speak?
Oh, and I also should point out that a resolution for the insurance covers us
Can you sign?
individually.
Yep.
And
Right there. Yep.
what's the charge of that?
Where we fight you. Constitution, yes, please.
The public undertaking.
Here.
The part of the resolution is the public undertaking, that we are covered by insurance, and this is acknowledging that.
Send you the certified resolution.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Good thing.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Doctor. Thank you. Dr. Brian Nelson. Okay, that takes us to town board discussions. Oh, yeah, privilege of the floor. Yeah, anybody who wants to speak to the town board, thank you, Tony, about any town topic, this is your opportunity to do so. Anybody current, anybody here?
I just think you should turn up the volume. We can't hear you guys all the time. Like, we've been hearing nothing else totally. We can hear you guys because your voices are on. Even when they're speaking at the mic, you can hear them.
I know. Those are, when they set this up, they set us up for the board to be over there. and the speakers for the public to be over on this side. We're getting the speakers changed out. We're going to tweak it, but thank you for bringing that to our attention. We know that there are some issues. Okay, so hearing no interest from the public to talk about any issue. Let's start out, Tony. Anything with you?
Not really. I've had some really good conversations with folks over at Jenkinsville. Just more informative than actually. A lot of great suggestions from the folks as to how they feel. One thing in particular that I really talk a lot about is that there has been a lot of discussion about a 2 to 3 year delay, if you will, or to get like the shovel in the ground, and I think that has a lot of people very concerned over there. And frankly, I don't know where the 2 to 3 year window is coming from, but like I said, we're working at this, we're doing everything, as quickly as possible. And
Is the 2 to 3, isn't the 2 to 3 window have to do with these days, like that they think they're going to?
that is correct, but the suggestion was made that don't necessarily wait for them to do everything else. And I said, we have CT now working with us. So I said, things aren't moving. Probably not at the rate that the folks over on Jenkinsville wanted to, but it's still, I don't know about you guys, but it's a topic of conversation every day in my life. So,
I think there's things that we should at least think about doing in parallel.
Exactly.
Instead of waiting.
Exactly.
And this $3 million that we're getting, we need to sort of figure out where that fits in.
But no, I think CT Rail has to provide their idea of what that total cost is.
That's correct.
But I think one of the things the $3 million gives us, and again, it doesn't have to be all used, but John, I don't know if there's grant opportunities out there where we could go out and seek some grant money. But usually there's a matching with a grant. Maybe we can negotiate, with the idea that we got some money here that, if it's normally 10 or 20, maybe we say, well, we'll do 30% match or something like that. It gives us a better opportunity to maybe get the grant, to get the money to get the water infrastructure like that.
Yeah. So, like I said, we talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
We certainly haven't forgotten about the folks over in Jenkinsville. So,
Tony, if I can, I understood this. The discussion is we're doing the research across together, how to bring water in, a separate system over there. But we've not committed to town for anything at this point yet because we're still in that discussion phase. And part of the whatever the solution is, we have to ensure that we don't take on costs for the town, or we ensure that any costs we do take on could be recouped in the event or when the source is found.
I actually had that discussion today. The situation was concerned that we're waiting to find out who the culprit is before we do anything. And I assure you that's just not the case.
No, that's true.
We may have to find a way to find out, where the source is, but in the meantime, we're still going to move forward. Hopefully, some out without some numbers, and we can have a discussion with Trish as to how we have to.
How's the satisfaction with people related to those people getting the bottled water and all of that?
It's not great. It's not great. Now, interesting problem is those folks that are getting bottled water is okay, but those that aren't, we're not happy about it. And fair point, in my opinion, that even though they may not have tested.
So if you were tested positive, that's a criteria you're getting.
Yes. Yep. Great question was raised today. I don't have an answer to, and I didn't have time to research it, but people in a swimming pool, they fill the pool with their well water decided. Yeah. And you would think it would be a no, but we can't answer that question.
That would be a concern, I would think, of the type of something.
And that was stemming from our publication that went out today, and where the DEC said you can garden, but just make sure you wash your hands. And it raised a really good question: why? Yeah. And I read it as, precautionary problem. Yeah, but she read it as though they're warning us to wash our hands after we've done it. So you can take it to it. Sure. Obviously, I do think, these things have prevent just, wash your hands when you know that's something. But you did raise the, question. Yeah. The very last thing, I just want to congratulate all our graduates. Right? I think they complete their was graduating a few weeks with my friends. Pretty excited. We're very excited to be able to the graduation. So congratulations. Take far cry from what everything went. But you know what? It's been a tough 2 years. Cctv missed a lot. And they did have a piece of $4 million for those kids. It wasn't a junior problem, it was a senior problem. But the school has done it all the best amount to, try to make it up to the kids to the best of their ability. So it's been good. That's it.
Okay, Tony, thanks. Harrison, anything?
Of course. So my first point is yesterday was the first day of summer. Today was pretty darn hot. I think when we start thinking about climate resiliency and how we deal with climate change and all the evidence, to include one of the things you read was our insurance, property insurance is going up because we're having more national disasters or somebody's paying for it. So climate's on continues to be on the top of my list. We are going to do some disruption to Ridge Road traffic north of Quaker to install that water line so that we can then next year pave Ridge Road. But there is going to be some inconvenience for probably 6 weeks to 2 months. And so just be patient and please, be cognizant of the folks working out there. We don't want to have anybody get hurt as they're trying to do the right thing by improving our water infrastructure over there on Ridge Road. And then I assume you mentioned, but I'll just say my personal thanks for Kathy Bozzoni and Pamela Reed for putting together our first Queensberry Climate Smart Community Recycle Reuse Day. I think it wasn't overwhelming. It was successful. We had 175 people or cars go through. People were happy that we were doing it. There were a few quirks. We'll think about. They had an active action today that I didn't make it to, but Kathy Bozzoni deserves credit for championing that. So I'll let you talk to it. I know you were at a different part of it than I was. And we'll have to figure out, what's fair and what makes sense strategically for that funding that we're getting allocated from the feds with that $3 million. We haven't really kicked that around too much. So if people have ideas, I'm open to hearing from Ward 2 since we got no parks capital projects this year in Ward 2.
Well, it's limited to what I said.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Harrison. George?
Not much this evening, other than thinking about Ward 3. I did see still seeing people putting in or working on the installation of the crosswalk that we approved a while ago at Aviation Road, Far Lane and Potter Road. So hopefully that'll be up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the RRFB, those are acronyms. The Rectangular Rapid Flashing Beacon.
Okay.
Yeah, and that'll be the connection
Between the two.
between the Rushbond Trail and the Halfway Brook Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got the 2 signals that are up and running with Glenwood, Quaker, and Bay and Quaker with pedestrian accommodations.
Yeah, and everyone should be careful of that flashing yellow on Bay. We don't risk trying to run out in front of somebody that's coming down your road just because you think you have a flashing yellow. You still have to yield to that traffic.
Good point.
Yep, good point. Anything else, George? Thank you, Tim.
Just a couple of things. John, you and I spoke. I'd like to get talking to some residents in Ward 4, that traffic study on Corinth Road. We talked about the new imaging center that's going to open up. The estimate's going to be 100 cars a day, additional cars on Corinth Road. The bottle plant, the new boat place, two new warehouses going in on Cary Road. I think it's time for a study to see what we can do. At least down the Van Dusen Road. Around as you get up Corinth towards West Mountain, there's not as much commercial traffic. But I'm interested in pursuing that.
Well, two areas. It's a county road.
Yeah.
But the AGFTC has information on the roads in the town of Queensbury as well as Warren County. And they may have some numbers to see if there's been any dramatic increases in the traffic flow of that road. They do that study. So they might be a good place to start is asking what they have.
Well, as a county road, as your rep, you're a rep of the county board, I would like to see what we can do to do that. And I'm also interested in informing you and making sure I do it the right way. I'd like to talk to the schools again about the buses on Corinth Road. In the morning, you're getting dozens and dozens of car backup. And when you open up, again, an imaging center, I think people trying to turn in that in the morning, it's going to be a mess. So, going to pursue it. I'll talk with you and find how we do that. And then the plug for the day, Papa's Diners reopened up on Corinth Road. Chris Smith has about 10 employees working there now. New atmosphere, updated menu, open 7 days a week, 7 to 2. Stop by and
yeah, I'm all for that. Is that the same owner that bought out the Pizza Hut? Or is
no, he sold that plot.
He sold that. So that's under new owner, new management.
Yeah, Chris Smith is a new owner.
New management.
Correct. New management.
Okay. Oh, got to try?
Yeah, and I sought the deal out, but something 42. Very nice dude. Very good staff there as well.
So they're open.
Yep.
I have to try that.
And they're getting their liquor license. They don't have it yet, but they are getting it.
All right. Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, I just have a few announcements. Warren County household hazardous waste collection. You have one last opportunity to bring the stuff in your garage or basement that might be listed as hazardous waste that you should not bring to the landfill, but you can bring to this event. This is all available to all Warren County residents. Saturday, July 24th, 9 to 2, at the DPW, Warren County DPW's facility on Main Street in Warrensburg. So your antifreeze, your pesticides, your oil-based paints, your corrosive cleaners, fluorescent bulbs, the list is on. You can go on our website or the county's website. They would prefer if you would fill out a sheet and explain what you would like to bring so that they can be prepared for it in case it's something they're not prepared for. What they're not taking are latex paint, munitions, automotive oil, batteries, asbestos, pharmaceuticals, infectious waste, or tires. They're not taking those. All right, so again, please register before you go up. Also, we have amazing people that work for the Department of Queensberry in just about every department. Tonight, I got to give the accolades to our assessment department and Terry and us. Our rate, our equalization rate, as it is every year since they started this, is 100%. And so We got the notification from New York State that our rate is 100%. And many other towns, they give the other towns, they are not 100%. Matter of fact, one town in Warren County is 1.9%. Another town is 0.94, less than 1%. All right. It takes a lot of work, working on weekends. I'll come in on a weekend and I'll see Terry and Ted working. So I gotta thank them for that and thank them for keeping our assessment up 100%. Now, what used to be done is you would wait periodically, several years, your equalization rate would change. And then you would have to pay $300,000 or $400,000 for somebody to come in and put it back up to 100% for you. Our people do it in-house. So we're not paying $300,000 to an outsider to do it. They're doing it. So we have to be appreciative of all the work they do in the assessment office. And thank you, Terry Ross. All right. So while we're thanking people, the Park and Recreation Department has this publication out for your summer 2021 program guide. It's fantastic as it is every year. This year, there's just a little something different. One person won't be with us. She's moving, who has been with us for many, many years. And she was one heck of a town employee, one heck of an assistant director, and that's Lori O'Shaughnessy. 17 years of service to the town of Queensberry and the Park and Recreation Department. Lori will be retiring to begin a new chapter of her life. Lori's service to the community is unmatched. Her enthusiastic spirit and professional dedication will be greatly missed. Not only by her Parks and Recreation family, but by the many families in our community that she has touched. A hallmark of Lori's success was her incredible work ethic and commitment to creating fun, unique, and diverse recreational opportunities in our community. Armed with a warm smile, positive attitude, and professional demeanor, Lori made a profound positive impact by establishing countless new programs and opportunities for kids, adults, and families. She made Queensbury more than a good place to live. She made it great. And for that, our community will be forever grateful. Thank you, Lori, for everything. We will miss you. But our Gurney Lane pool and our air pavilions, our party tent, our swim lessons, our Churney Gurney Trail race and ride, our mountain biking. We're one of the highest rated mountain biking places in New York State, right here in Queensbury. They come from all over. You'll see places from Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire. Then we have toddler and preschool programs, butterflies, color lab, animal friends, shapes and structures, all kinds of programs for children. Summer sports camps, girls field hockey, youth golf, weight room training, speed sessions, adventure camp, session 1 and session 2, rock climbing, kayaking, all kinds of things, even fall sports it talks about. Soccer, golf, pigskin football, yoga, stretch and tone, Zumba, weights, women's beginner golf clinic, adult golf lessons, pickleball. And we've got some of the best pickleball in the area. Nature photography, and Q Club, of course. And I just gave you the peak of the iceberg of what our recreation department does and offers to enhance the quality of life in our community. So I want to thank the Park and Rec Department, and I want to thank Shaughnessy. So, all right, and the last thing is I want to recognize the American Legion Post 233 that thanked us for putting together the Remembrance Ceremony this year being held in the Civic Center on Memorial Day of 2021. So Glens Falls and they sent this. What are you putting in your bunker?
Well, not yours.
Not yours. All right, they sent us this as appreciation of our effort in putting together that Remembrance Ceremony. And then the one thing I do, I'm trying to figure out how many of these I've attended. I don't know, 30, maybe more. Eagle Scout ceremonies. And the last one, I've got one this week, but the last one I attended that I mentioned was part of that recycling day and the electric line networking going the cremator and the Eagle Scout and the broken arm. Busy Saturday. But I got to congratulate Grant Lamrick for becoming an Eagle Scout. I'm very proud of him. And so I was very glad to give a plaque and speak to the cause on behalf of the town of Queensberry. All right, well, that's it for me. Anything else for the good of the order?
Jim, can we stay?
All right, how about a motion? And I want to thank our town attorney, Bob Hafner, and our town clerk, Caroline Barber, and Joe Barlow and TBA. Thank you. And our audience and the town people who like paying attention to what we're doing. Appreciate that. And the town board, thank you and have a good night despite the thunder you might be hearing. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So,
all right. Made by Councilperson McNulty, seconded by Councilperson Perone. All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye. 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 We're now adjourned.
The following program is underwritten by the generous support of Associates of Glens Falls and Loomis & Lipan Insurance. Since 1852, they have been assisting both businesses and individuals across the country secure the most comprehensive insurance products available. Associates of Glens Falls is proud to partner with Central Insurance Companies. Public affairs programming on Look TV is underwritten by the generous support of Pinnell's Restaurant, classic Italian-American food since 1922, and Stored Tech, technology solutions for computers, networks, and phone. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.
1922, Babe Ruth debuts with the Yankees. WGY signs on air. Exterminator wins the Saratoga Cup, and Pinnell's Restaurant opens its doors for the very first time. For 5 generations, Pinnell's has been preparing delicious Italian food, served in a comfortable, home-like setting where everyone is welcome. 90 years of authentic Italian recipes, 90 years of the freshest ingredients, and 90 years of the finest classic Italian dishes, all made daily by hand. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga dining tradition since 1922.
Most cybersecurity firms deal only with prevention, the systems that block hackers and viruses. Stored Tech knows the root cause is actually good people doing bad things. So we offer a security training program which includes certifying all participants to show they understand the basics.
Technology solutions for computers, networks, and phones. Stored Tech, your technology, our passion.